All right, now this may sound like hyperbole or an over exaggeration when I say this, but you have to consider the context in which I'm saying it. And that is that NBA 2K, just think about this for a moment. NBA 2K is the worst video game of all time. All right, especially in the last few years. Now, why would I say something like that? Especially considering how often I've said in previous videos that I've done, it is actually a great game. But the reason why I'm saying that is because of this. Video games or anything of a competitive nature is always based upon a meritocracy. It's always based upon your skill set versus your opponent's skill set, your IQ, whatever the case may be, is you and your ability to execute plans and certain ideas and contraptions and whatever the hell may be the case. It's about your ability to, compete versus your opponent's ability to compete based upon skill set. What 2K has done, especially in the last few years, is uh, they've created a AI system that basically nullifies that competitive element of games or sports or whatever it is that's of a competitive nature by scripting and forcing and making certain things happen based upon a narrative or based upon some sort of gimmicky, you know, aspect of the AI or what they believe basketball to be. All right. So you have a lot of scenarios in this game that is basically contrived. And what that does, even though it's such a great game, it takes away from a lot of the value of the game, and in comparison to other video games, it's horrible because of that. Because you could play, just imagine this: if you're playing something like sorry about that, something like a Mortal Kombat. What makes it competitive is that you is your skill set and your character versus the opponent, rather even if you're playing the AI. And in this case, let's say you're playing the other CPU's AI. You're not playing another person. If let's say if you would implement a NBA 2K styled AI into Mortal Kombat. So in Mortal Kombat, uh, what the AI does for the computer, it only controls the computer. It only controls the computer. All right. And what it does for the computer is it gives them a false artificial representation of intelligence. All right. So it tells them when to do certain things based upon logic. All right. And what would be the best idea at a certain moment. So the AI tells them when to throw an uppercut, what combo to do at a certain moment, when to block based upon when you're swinging, uh, when to throw a fireball, when to do a sweeping kick, or whatever the move list may be. If you were to implement 2K's version of AI onto something like Mortal Kombat, let's say you go into a particular game, the AI would not only just control the CPU, but it will control your ability to do certain things. So let's say if you were to implement it, let's say you throw a fireball. If 2K's AI is involved in a situation like that, it would determine whether or not the fireball could actually hit the person, your target. So you would throw a fireball at somebody, it'll go through them. Because let's say the scripted outcome is that you're supposed to win you're supposed to lose based upon the narrative of the game, or at a certain moment you're not supposed to land a blow. You would throw a punch, it would never hit the computer. All right. You would do a sliding kick or some shit like that, or an uppercut, and it would just go right through him. It wouldn't hit him, but then at another moment, it would hit him. All right. It's controlling aspects of the game that it has no fucking business controlling whatsoever. All right, and it's based upon whether or not the AI wants you to win that fight. Meanwhile, on the other end, computers AI, let's say like how the defense is in 2K, how a computer has this immaculate fucking defense. Everything you do, everything you did, they'll block it every single time. They have perfect defense. You cannot touch them. All right? Because the AI's narrative is that you're supposed to lose. And all of a sudden, their hits do more damage than what it would in any other fight. All right? If I'm giving, hopefully I'm giving a decent enough example for you to understand what I'm trying to say. Let's take it to Call of Duty. Let's say you're supposed to lose a certain round. You'll shoot someone, your bullets will never touch them. You'll throw a bomb at somebody, it will never blow them up because the AI is arbitrarily deciding whether or not you could actually pull off something based upon a script, based upon a gimmick. So like back to Mortal Kombat, it may want a spectacular ending to a fight, some sort of grandiose ending, and it'll allow certain things to happen where it's just like, wow, that was incredible, that was amazing. That's something similar to what goes on in 2K when they allow blow-bys, they allow crossovers, or you will be in front of your man. You can't move when they're running past you because the game has decided they're going to get the blow-by and get like a fancy dunk or some crazy shit like that. All right. That is what separates or why I'm saying what I'm saying. You're not just allowed to just play this game like a regular game because there are certain contraptions and codes and narratives that's programmed, that's weaved and baked into the AI of this game. All right, so it becomes a fucking headache just trying to pull off simple things because the AI could just arbitrarily be saying, no, you cannot do that right now. Why can't you do that? Because you're going to get an easy point. And the narrative on this possession is that you're not supposed to score. A computer's supposed to get the ball, steal the ball, or defend you well, and then go down on the other end of the court and get a bucket. That's basically a lot of times what's going on in this game. There's contrived out at the core. It's a great fucking game. It's incredible. But all of the different layers on top of it is programmed to have this gimmicky aspect to it, and then on top of that is programmed to have certain narratives. Because let's say you have the ability, the skill set to actually beat computer 82 games out of a season. That's not really possible in real life basketball. So you will go into certain games where the narrative is already scripted that you're supposed to lose that game and there's nothing that you could do about it. All right, that's what I'm talking about. So I want to, I went on a nice little tangent. This I just wanted to touch on that. This is not really anything unique what happened right here, but I still want to show how certain things happen in this game and how it bothers the outcome in the gameplay, the overall gameplay. So I'm understanding that he's about to go for a shot, and he's definitely going to miss that. I knew that already. So I want to try to basically blow by this guy and try to get to the paint early to get an offensive rebound. Now, 2K has a funny way of controlling the offensive to defensive rebounding ratio in this game because in real life, you're going to get more defensive rebounds than offensive rebounds just due to the nature of how in real life the game is played when you're on offense versus being on defense. All right, when you're on offense, you're naturally on the other side of the basket and of the defense. So you're not really going to be on the inside too often to get offensive rebounds. But you as an individual could change that by just running through and getting on the inside. You could just snatch offensive rebounds all day. So what they've done to prevent or to create that simulated version of that balance of offense to defensive rebound ratio is they've made it to where they just arbitrarily don't allow you to go into the paint a lot of times when you're trying to get the rebound. So right here, I want to run past this guy and actually get to the basket to see if I can possibly get the rebound. And he slid in front of me, right? So he's allowed to backpedal, fight me off, you know what I'm saying, and prevent me from running past him. And, you know, that ain't really too much the issue. So I understand that that's happening, that he's fighting me off. So I want to stop and go to the left and try to wrap around on the empty side of the court over here and try to see if I can actually get over there and still possibly get the rebound. So when I decide to do that, what I'm forced to do is to get stuck behind him on this gimmicky ass box out animation bullshit that 2K has done, where you're forced. See, like, okay, so let's say in real life, you could just run past somebody, if they're trying to box you out. You don't have to sit here and try to fight for position with this guy. All right, you can just decide, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go over here and do my thing and try to dip back around and see if I can, you know, do what I'm trying to do that way. But in 2K, since they're trying to control the offense to defensive rebounding ratio, you are forced into a box out position and to fight for a position when you're not even holding the L button. You ain't got nothing to do with any of this. You're locked into this animation. All right. So as you can see, I'm fighting over the left side. I don't want to box out. I just want to run past this dude. All right. And they're forcing me into this. This is the type of shit right here that I'm talking about that makes it a bit difficult to actually thoroughly enjoy this game. All right, because you're forced into these silly ass scenarios a lot of times and these contrived outcomes. And once again, like I said, this wasn't really nothing too major that I wanted to touch on. I just wanted to say, I just kind of wanted to go into that diatribe before, you know, I got to this point. I just wanted to say that how so much of this is so much taken out of this game. It could be so much better than what it actually is, but you're kind of forced to go along with the script a lot of times. All right, and it becomes horrible at that point when you're forced to go along with a narrative, even though you have your own plan and you have the skill set and the ability to execute that plan, but you're still locked into a system that's saying you can't do that right now. You can't drive that lane right now. You can't run across the court and get open right now. You can't get the rebound right now. You cannot stop this person from scoring right now. All right, you cannot get that steal right now. You have stripped the ball from somebody and try to run after the loose ball. The AI will stop you from chasing the damn ball. I done seen other dudes, make videos touching on that, and it's happened to me a billion fucking times, and I have videos on it too. All right, they're force you to just stop for no reason, arbitrarily, for like a millisecond, or just completely. It's like they would erect some sort of invisible barrier or force field or like a wall in front of you, and you're trying to get the ball, but then a computer blows right by you and get the ball, retrieve the ball. All right, it's too much of that shit going on where you're arbitrarily stopped or caused to do certain things that has nothing to do with what you want to do or what you're trying to do. And it fucks up the flow of the game a lot of times. Really, damn near every possession has a certain degree of that in it. And it really fucks up. It spoils it for you. All right, peace.